Welcome to this new mod map tour on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. This is Ireland. This is the new mod map by Lancyboi. Okay, let's get on with it. We are standing at the entrance to one of the farm areas on the map. I've got this on normal mode at the moment on New Farmer. I have been over and had a look on Farm Manager, so I'll explain a couple of things about that. On Farm Manager mode, you're already 694 slots into the 1299. If you're on console, if you're on PC, you haven't got to worry about slots, don't worry about that. And on Farm Manager, you do start with all the same machinery, but you don't start with any silos, water tanks or anything like that. You'll see what I mean about that momentarily as well. So let's have a look on the map. This is Ireland. Like I say, we start down here and we've got a farm area here. We've also got a farm area here. We've got horses there, sheep field there, pigs there, another farm area up here with the cows, and the shop is up there. Things are spread out. First glance as well, people are going to be divided on this map. It's a European map, it's Irish obviously. It's fairly tight in, narrow lanes, hedges. The fields are not all big square or rectangular fields. They don't all go north, south, east, west. They are oddly shaped, strangely shaped, but we do have a mixture of small, medium and fairly large fields on the map. So what do we actually start with on New Farmer? Well, we start with this plot down here. So we own field 42, 43, 44 and 45. And that's it. Biogas plant, as per usual, you need to own to get it to work. That's the way it is. The biogas plant in this section here will cost you 159,000. Not overly expensive, but again, you know, you do have to own it. I have had on a few maps recently people saying they can't get the animals to work, they can't buy animals, it won't let them place animals. Generally speaking, the animal pastures or animal sections on farms, if you're on New Farmer or start from scratch, you have to own that plot for them to work. Generally, that's not always the case. It depends on the map maker. So as far as plots go, when you consider some of these fields are actually fairly small, the plots are quite expensive. That one's 91,000, 232, 751. So yeah, they're not cheap plots of land, I'll be totally honest with you. 480. Some of them are together. I think, which one is it? Yeah, 21, 22. You've got two fields within one plot, which we kind of, on a lot of maps, map makers moved away from that, and we kind of seem to be getting that a little bit more again now, where you're getting more than one field as a plot. So the chicken farm there comes with field 30 and 19 as a plot. Forestry is mainly around this area here, around the back of the sawmill. Big plot of land for 709. Then you've got two separate grass fields. Now that's something to point out. There are a lot of grass fields on this map for making silage bales and hay and so on. For doing animal feed, there is more animal production opportunities on this map than arable, I guess is the best way of putting it. Contracts are available, like so. Prices are about average on those actually, because the field sizes are kind of medium-ish, so not too bad at all. We'll look at what machinery we start with in just a second. So let's go into the yards here. We are facing south at the moment, and the waterfront is down there, so we're down the southern part of the map. I like that. You know me. If you know me, if you watch my videos, you know I like smaller maps. You know I like European maps. It's just you get used to kind of the area you live in and what you're kind of used to. Our main farm, so to speak, farmhouse, a bit of machinery, touch on the back. There are bits of machinery all over the place at this yard and across the map. They're not all in one farmyard. Let's open this gate. But marked out very clearly here, if we go on to this point, that's your sleep through the night option at the farmhouse here. Now, the animal pens and the farmhouse are not sellable. They are fixed positions. They are on the map. They're going to stay there. It's fairly early in the morning, so the lighting, I might need to speed up a little bit and get us to a point where we can see. But anyway, what do we start with then? Why is that scrolled all the way across there? That's very weird. Okay, so we've got a John Deere 6230, we've got a Massey Ferguson 7719, Massey Ferguson Activa 7347S harvester, pickup, nice little TKD trailer, header, we've got a plough, fair sized cultivator, I'll be honest with you. Horse Pronto 9 DLC, again, not a bad size. That's the sort of seeder that you're not going to need to change. It direct drills as well, and for the size fields you could probably just keep that. You wouldn't need to upgrade that. Navigator 600 sprayer, mower, header trailer, weight, and then this is what I'm saying on Farm Manager you start with all that machinery, but then when you get to this point you don't have any of this stuff. So we've got a few grain silos knocking about on the various different fields. We've got water stations knocking about at the different farms, sorry, fields, farms that is. And we've got a seed purchase point at one of the farms as well. And that's it, that's everything you start with. And on New Farmer, that takes you up to 793 of 1299. So we're already a big chunk into our slot count, which if you want to start changing stuff around, putting placeables in, doing your own thing, it doesn't leave you a lot of scope to do that, I'll be totally honest with you. Right, continue around the yard then. So there's our silo at the main yard, that's a 100,000 litre one. We've got, where are we? There's plenty of barn space. Bunker silo just tucked around there. The textures are great, I like that. There's our John Deere. Oh, mind my head on that. Now I had a bit of a quick whiz round on Farm Manager mode, and there's one of our water tanks tucked away on the back. So when you come onto Farm Manager, that water tank isn't there, and nor's the silo around the other side. They're not there on Farm Manager. Yeah, there's a lot of bales knocking around at the various different farms, and I think they're bales you can use. I haven't tried these ones, but the other ones around the map I kind of drove into and they all move, so I'm assuming they're not fixed in place ones. It's a nice view down to the waterfront just there. So what we're going to do is grab the John Deere for the time being, because that's the only vehicle we've got here. Just knock the way out of the way. We're going to do the waterfront first. We're going to go along the front, and then we're going to kind of cut across, and we'll go around to all the various different places to have a look. You can get a nice feel for the map, the layout. Not necessarily where everything is, because there's going to be things that are kind of hidden away that I either haven't seen or haven't come across. And I would always urge everybody, even if you watch a first look, and you know, that will just give the indication as to whether you like a map or not, or whether you're going to play on it. Someone doing a map tour won't be able to find everything. I always urge people to explore, go on the map, drive around, find stuff, you know. So the forest is all behind here, going off in this direction, and no shortage of lumber and logging to do. Quite a big forest with various different sized trees. Your sawmill is just here, with your log sell point here. Like I say, no shortage of vehicle storage space. So if you want to be doing a forestry operation, you want to keep your vehicles here at the sawmill and then go out into the woods to do it, you absolutely can. Most stuff, I'll be honest, is fairly clearly marked. It seems to be pretty good. There's not a huge amount of traffic either. So again, it's not tight country lanes. Some bits are, but you're not inundated with traffic. I do like the little lanes and tracks. There does seem to be a big problem on this map, I've noticed, with fly tipping and dumping of rubbish and waste. I like the addition of speed bumps. I know for the tractors it makes very little difference to the speed bumps, but it's a nice little thing to have. So we're at the biogas plant. Like I said, you do need to buy it, you do need to own it. There's your digester, your tank. You've got one bunker silo tucked around the corner here. So again, with these sorts of maps, you get the feeling the kind of biogas plant has been built to fit the landscape. So often you'll get the bunker silos, you have 3 big bunker silos lined up in a row on a big open expanse. You get the feeling this biogas plant's been put in to fit where it will fit, kind of thing, you know, in real life, not on here. Digestate tank is just here, and round the corner we've got another bunker silo in there. More storage space again if you want vehicles here at your biogas plant. for doing biogas plant type stuff. And interestingly, you've got the sawmill sell point for your lumber, the wood chip sell point, and this is tucked away. You wouldn't necessarily know it was here. It's right at the back here. That's your wood chip sell point. Here at the biogas plant, it's tucked right behind the vehicles. Behind the buildings. So, just to be aware, that's where your wood chip sell point is. It shows it on the map, but there you go, more storage as well. But just so you know, it's tucked away there, very neatly. There seems to be lots and lots of bins overflowing. Maybe the bin men are on strike or something. Potentially. Right, so we're going to go out to... Well, I mean, technically the biogas plant is a sell point, but we're going to go to the next sell point along the coast. And then we'll go back the other way and find some more. There are some nice touches to this, and not everyone likes this. I get a feeling of Marwell Manor, that kind of, when you go under and through some of the trees, you get a lot of shade and darkness. Not everyone likes that. They don't like the lighting you get from that kind of thing. But it's kind of realistic. Bit of roadworks and stuff going on there. It just adds a little bit of something to the whole map, you know. Right, so we've got the port sell point. That's where we are now. And the sell point is... Oh, just over there. Drove straight past it. There's your sell point at the port. Actually, while we're doing this bit, we might as well... It's a big old port area as well. Loads and loads of space here. Placeable area there if you buy this section, if you wanted to put something down on here. Massive expanse. Loads more running around the side there. Actually, let's have a quick look on the map. And then onto here. Right, so sell points. We've got Bale Sell Point, Spinnery. The two main sell points on the map are the factory and the port. We've also got pub, waterfront sales and wood chips. So we scroll down, the pub, because there's nothing else on there, that will take eggs and milk, as will waterfront sale. Waterfront sale is more like your dairy in reality. Wood chips takes wood chips, and that's that tiny bit that's tucked around the side. The biogas plant. So your main two sell points are the port and the factory. So we're at the port now. Spinnery obviously is for your wool and your cotton, and the bale sell point is for your bale type things. I'm often kind of caught in that dilemma between the two. I do like a map with plenty of sell points, especially if it's a big map and they're kind of spread around all over the place. But then there is that flip side to that coin. But I do like it when you've got a map with only maybe a couple, because in real life, if you lived in an area like this, you wouldn't have 6 sell points, like major sell points in that area. But I get the whole point that a map is a kind of microcosm of real life, you know, whereas normally a farmer might travel miles and miles and miles to go various different sell points. Obviously you can't do that on the map sizes we've got, so you have to kind of scale that right down to, you know, I totally get that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to drive along this main road, along realistically the waterfront, the southern part of the map, past our farm where we just were, and the woodland is just off to the left. We're going to pass the turn on the left, which we're not going to go down, we're going to carry on down the waterfront. If you go up that way, you can turn into the forest just there behind us and go up the western side of the map, but we are going to go along the front now. Lay-by to the right, in the back end of our farm that we start at. We come into the first part of the little village. I'm on the wrong side of the road again, just realised. Speed bumps again. Nice touches, I like that. So here's the pub sell point. And again, it looks like the pub's had a pretty good night the night before. There seems to be a lot of... definitely a bin strike on, I think. The bins are out the front, so they haven't been collected. There's your sell point. It's interesting, there's a planter right in the middle of that sell point. I don't know whether that's part of the like when it converts, when it's done on PC by the maker and then converted to console. Sometimes these things kind of don't work quite right, unless it's supposed to be there. They do seem to be equidistant, the planters across the front. But anyway, there's your sell point for the pub. Carrying along past a little graveyard just to the right hand side there. Car park for the pub with fields behind. More roadworks. A lot of people having a lot of work done. And then we turn down here into the chicken farm. So all of the animals are kind of spread out. Now these, like I say, these are kind of in-game. They're on the map. You can't sell these. These are part of the landscape, and these are custom. There are a lot of custom textures, a lot of custom buildings and stuff on this map which have been put in. Buying and selling of your chickens is done from this point here. We have, I'm not sure where the troughs are. I think feed trough must be, oh yeah, feed trough's just there. There's got to be a light here. Where's the light? I saw that as I came in. There we go. Not the brightest of lights, but anyway, there's our lights, there's our feed trough there. Where do the egg boxes appear? That's a good point. There's not anything marked that's obvious. Again, more barn space here at the chicken farm. Now, interesting, we get a lot of these knocking around on maps, and most of the time they're not actually the water points. They're just put in as kind of a feature, and then your actual water points are marked on separately. Hang on a minute. No, that's weird. But anyway, so we carry on the chicken farm. Realistically, thinking about a lot of the way this is laid out, that's one of the water tanks just there on the right. So it's interesting, you've got a lot of water one back there, but that's a water tank there. This would be great for multiplayer because you've got 3-4 farms spread out all over the place. There you go, that's where your egg boxes are going to come, or if you use one of the egg pallet mods, put that down in there, or a trailer with those on, and that's where they're going to spawn. We've got more barns and shelters up around here. Quite a big farmyard area, considering it's just the chickens that are here. Then, like I say, if you were going to play multiplayer, you can stand one person can be the chicken farmer, one could be the sheep farmer, and then we've got up here massive silo barn, shelter. Opens at the back end as well, onto the fields behind. We'll come around to that bit of farm later on. Air balloon. It's nice. As the light starts to come up, I think it's another one of those ones, but like it is in real life, in the early morning you've got a lot of shade, a lot of shadow, and as the day progresses and the light comes up, I think that's the thing, the new lighting system is more realistic to life, but then a lot of people don't like the way that then comes out as gameplay, I suppose. But you know, people will cry out for more realistic maps, but then there are certain elements of that realism that people don't always like, I guess. You can't please everyone, that's just the way it is. Right, so carrying along the waterfront. Nice sandy beach area down to the front. If you've got horses and you want to take them out for a ride on the beach in the morning, enjoy the sunrise, that kind of thing, if that's your cup of tea. Right, so just on our left we've got to turn in for the spinnery. Just down here. Cotton and wool sell point is just there. And then continuing along the waterfront, we come to the waterfront sell point, which is kind of like I said, kind of like the dairy. Now, one thing we'll have a look at in a second, or another thing we'll have a look at in a second, is the actual map layout. And something that I think, again, not everyone's going to like. On a lot of maps, the map makers will try to get a kind of loop of roadway, or at least a road that you can kind of drive around the map, so to speak. Some maps, you get roads that come and kind of go out from a central point, which means you've got to go out and back and out and back. And not everyone likes that, but you know, it is the way it is, how a map's laid out. So around the back here, we've got 2 sell points marked out, but you can sell milk and eggs here, so I'm wondering if we've got 2 separate sell points, one for each possibly. There's a slightly larger one there and then the smaller one behind it. So this is the waterfront sell point. So what we've done essentially is we started up here at the farm, we've gone along here to the biogas and the port, and then we come back along. We've come along the waterfront. We've done the chicken farm here, carried all the way along to Spinnery, all the way along to waterfront sale. But if you look at the way the roads are laid out, you've got two turn-ins, one here and one here, which will take you on a loop round that way, which is fine. But in essence, this road here is separate to this road here, and if you want to get to this part here, you the roadway runs all the way around the top of the map and all the way back down. But what we can do, and it's not when you first look at the map, it's not glaringly obvious, and that's why I say always have a bit of a search around, because it makes life so much easier. Let's get out to the main road. If I head back along the edge of field 39 here, there's a gate just here. I'm going to stop the traffic and they won't like it. I'm going to get a toot probably. I turn in here at gate 39, or field 39, gate 39? Why did I say that? We can actually cut between those two roads. If you look at the bottom left hand corner at the mini-map, so I'm going along the edge of field 39 now, which cuts across that bottom part and brings me onto the next road. So I don't have to go all the way back along the road, to follow the roads, unless you particularly want to follow the roads. That's entirely up to you, of course. So, which brings us on to the next parts, which is kind of very helpful, really. So we've got just around the sides here, we've got the barn sell point, a few straw and hay and grass and stuff like that. That's just there. Around the back here, we've got our livestock market tucked away around here. We go up onto the ramp. There we go. And then the last of the sell points that's on this part here is just around here. Whoa, pile of rubbish. Didn't see that. Which is just there. I need to check the maps. I can't remember. Oh, the factory. So this is the other main sell point. So you've got the factory and the port were the two main sell points. So you've got the port one there and the factory across here. They're the two main ones that I showed you a little while ago. So what we're going to do now is head from here back onto the main road, and we're going to head up this direction. We're going to take in the horses. There's the lime station. Then we get more up here. And also we're going to go... Well, you'll see in a second. I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean. I think that's a water point there. That's one of the tanks that shows on your inventory. So back out onto the road. Make sure I'm on the right side of the road this time. There we go. Back on the countryside. This is another one of those maps. It's got a nice feel to it. I like the layout. I like the windy roads. I like... As we're heading away from the coast now, you'll get that feeling of gradual elevation, like you're kind of gradually climbing. The road seems to have a bit of a lift to it here. There's a little public footpath there, runs off through the little bit of woodland. You've got pine trees there rather than fir trees. And on the right hand side now, let's just pull in here, like so. So this is the stables, the riding area. I'm not too sure what this is for. This puzzled me, because this isn't showing on the map as anything in particular. I thought, well, maybe it's something to do with the horses, but I couldn't figure out what. Because the actual horse enclosure, if you want to call that, is just around here. So that's where you buy your horses, and you've got your water trough just over there. Feed trough, tucked over the back there actually. That's, yeah, that's your feed trough. But you've got like a little riding area and training area. It's it's nicely laid out. It's tight, it's compact. A lot of the yards are very tight. Like I say, difficult to manoeuvre around with large machinery, so it's going to be small to medium stuff. But there's some nice features. That's why I say it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone likes this style of map. And then across the road here, we've got more barn space again, quite narrow, quite tight. But we've got a lime purchase point just here, which is marked on the map. Now what we're going to do is head to the sheep, and like I say, according to the map, we're here at the moment, The sheep are here, and the roadway goes all the way around and back down. And that's a part of the map. Go and have a drive around. If you're buying the fields up there, you'll be going up that part of the map anyway. Very picturesque, very lovely. There's got little buildings and farms on the tracks. You've got another yard just here with some barn space in it, which is really, really handy. And there are lots of these little tracks that take you out into the fields where you need to go. But the sheep pasture's here. There's another farm area here with another lime station. So the road ends there, but if you look very carefully, there is a little track that just runs down there. It's one of those kind of ones that you see road signs to say unsuitable for motorised vehicles and that kind of stuff. Old farm tracks, bridleways, that kind of stuff that aren't, generally speaking, supposed to be a proper roadway. They are often used by farmers and stuff to get from A to B. So if you cut across there and open this gate here, we can go up to the sheep pasture. Now this map is seasons compatible with grazing, so the grazing part of seasons where you can kind of put them in to fields and off they go kind of thing is available. I've done the contracts, biogas plant's been covered. Reset, we'll look at the reset thing when we get to the store. Well, you reset to the store basically, you'll see when we get there. That's your sheep pasture off to the right hand side, and you've got a gate there to it. We've got a pond just in the corner, and we've got bales over there we'll have a look at in a second. And then we've got a farmyard just off to the left here again, so if you were going to be the sheep farmer or you want to run a sheep farm, we've got a farmyard just here. We've got a little church on the right hand side. So if we open up here, now I think, I haven't tried this, but I assume your wool pallets spawn here. This is interesting how this one's laid out. And then we've got the whole, there's a whole farmyard with barn space and stuff around the back here. Lime station just up the back there, but more farmyard kind of around the back. But interestingly, you've got this bit marked here, and when you click on this, this is where you get your sheep from. So rather than at the animal dealer, which we've already been to, you can do it here. But my question, my curiosity is, where do you load and unload them from? Because this is where the pasture itself is, and there's no hazard marked area here at the gate. So if you buy them from that point there where I just was, it puts them into this field. Oh, there's a water tank around the back there, sorry, I meant to point that water tank there. And then you've got your feed trough and water trough are actually in the middle of the field here for your sheep. So I'm not entirely sure, if you were to buy them yourself from the main animal dealer, where do you actually drop them off? It may just be in this gateway, potentially. I hate to say it, and I don't like to say it on a map tour, but I assume the assumption is there. Irish flag on there. Very nice indeed. So that's your sheep. I do like the old stonework on the buildings and stuff. Something about it. Nice little styles for footpaths knocking about all over the place. It's little things like that that give a map a kind of, I don't know, it makes it feel more true to life. I've got a friend of mine who is Irish, and was messaging me last night when the map came out, saying she was going around it and she was looking at a few things here and there and saying all the things in a jokey way that it should have. She said that along that main road there wouldn't be one pub, there'd be about 5 or 6. There was a few different things. I was killing myself laughing. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Just made me smile. And this map is a fictitious place, but it's based on places in Ireland. It's that kind of the generic-ish kind of thing. So to our right-hand side, we've got the pig farm, and if we just duck in the entranceway here, again, more barn space, plenty of room for moving around. We've got the manure pit silo, if you want to call it that, just there. If I So we've got bales on there. They do look very realistic. And they're the one, I'm pretty sure we've been given bales. I'll show you what I mean. So if I bump into these here now, there you go. So normally if they're fixed just there for the looks, you would just crash into those. But the fact they all move, I assume you've been given bales to kind of get started with. Interesting Pigpen design as well. I like this with the kind of almost like a little cattle grid on the front for them not to be able to get out, but that's where you buy, sell, load or unload. You've got your feed trough and the water trough around the side there. So this is your pig pen. And then your slurry from your pigs will come to here. So what we're going to do, when we came to the chicken farm and I pointed out the back and said we'll come to that bit later, we're going to come to that bit now. So this is the next farm. This is it. You can almost either run it as, again, I'm just thinking of ideas in my head of how, if I was going to tackle it as a map, how would I do it? A farm estate, so someone owns all of it and you've got it's just kind of spread across the landscape, or entirely separate farms, realistically. You can run it any way you like. So we've got more of our machinery here. We've got our Massey Ferguson here, some more hay bales. We've got the seed buy point just tucked away in the trees just there. We've got another silo there, and that's the silo extension that goes with it. And then we've got our Massey Ferguson harvester just there with the header trailer, and that there directly in front of me is the back of the chicken farm where we were a little while ago. So that's the next of your farms. What we do now, so back onto the road and up to the last of the points we're going to be looking at. Like I say, there's more of this map to look at, more to explore. There's little tracks and things. If you look over there, there's that take you off into all the various different fields. It's nice. I like it. It's got a nice feel. Unfortunately, with so many maps having come out in the last few days, I had loads of people messaging me the other day when I did Lone Oak map tour saying, are you going to do a Let's Play on this? And the problem is it's so difficult. You can't do Let's Plays on every single map that comes out. It's just not possible. The other thing I find is if you're doing Let's Plays on a map you're really enjoying at the moment, like at the moment I'm on Washoe and I'm loving every minute of it, but then when new maps come out, you then look at new maps thinking, you know, at some point you do need to have a fresh start, you do need to start on a new map, you do need to move on, but it's really difficult. And the thing is, you get to a point where, like Washoe, if I do move on, and from Lipinki, Washoe I'll probably play myself off screen just for my own enjoyment, my own pleasure, you know, and then move on to something else for videos kind of thing. And people say, well, you said you loved this map, why aren't you playing on it? I can't, you just can't play all of them, it just isn't possible, you know. There are some cracking maps coming out at the moment. Right, so the next of our farms. Now this is the main road. When I first came out of the farm where we started, down by the forestry area and the sawmill, and I went past that first turning and said, that takes you up to the sort of the western side of the map. That's where that road comes. Comes along here and goes off in that direction, and eventually comes all the way back round. It will bring you back round towards the sheep pen pasture. So coming into here, we have got a water point just to our left, we've got a fuel point just to our right. Just then realised I've probably driven past the pickup truck. I haven't come across it, but it's got to be somewhere, hasn't it? I've obviously gone past that at some point. Back through the yard here, and we come to the cow pasture, which is also a custom placed. Again, it's not available as a mod within the game, so you can't place these anywhere. But right, our milk point is just here. Our slurry point is here, so when they are producing slurry it comes out of there. Our feed troughs are just inside, and the straw. I do like this cattle grid thing, so you haven't got gates everywhere, but in some places you've got a gate and a cattle grid, just, you know, belt and braces, make sure everything's alright. So feed troughs on the side there, and then we've got a water trough out in the field just here. I do like these ones. I know a lot of times they are fixed on the map, but to allow for that grazing thing, so you have in essence got a field that the animals are in, rather than those pens where you've got one plonked and it says that it will take 150, 200 cows, but the pen is tiny. I do like a pasture, a proper open kind of pasture. But anyway, there's your water trough. And there are more bales up in the corner here. Generally speaking, these round ones are for putting grass or hay and stuff in, usually. But anyway, so there you go. That's your cow barn, cow shed. I got told off for this. What's it called? A byre? Byre? Yeah, byre. B-Y-R-E. I hope I got that right. So track down the side here so you can come round into the field if you want to. And then the last of the points we're going to be going to look at is the store, which is literally just opposite here. Don't have to worry too much about closing the gate, because there are plenty of gates actually here, but because there's the cattle grid as well, just in case you have any roaming animals. So out of here, just about to say the giveaway sign. Whoa, he didn't give way, did he? Mind you, I was pulling out. So just on the right here, we've got the store. Now, interestingly, this isn't a store as you know it. Now, when you've got some storefronts like the one on Tuscan Lands, which is like a Lamborghini garage, this is in essence just another yard. You know, you've got a bit of barn space just there. Now, there's not a workshop at any of the farms that I've come across, but there are toolbox mods and various different things like that you can place if you want to. So our workshop is actually just here. I click on that, so you can customise, repair, sell. Somebody did message me last night and say the sell part is not working here, and could I let Lancyboi know? I don't know if Lancyboi will watch this video, but I haven't tested that myself, but we'll check that in a second. And then your store bit is just here. So for example, if I buy something, let's go with something small, let's just pick up a cheap trailer, we'll lease it. Kind of plonks you back here a little bit away from the point where you just were, but it puts it out there, and this is also your reset point. So should you decide you want to reset something just because you want to, or because you've had a bit of a mishap, it will reset here to the main store area. One thing I would say is stay well away from the Portaloos, because they seem to be having a bit of a problem here. So yeah, I wouldn't use those. If you come to the store and you do need the toilet, I would avoid that. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I think we've gone round and we've seen a bit of everything. We went along the waterfront, we went up through past field 39 to here, we've come up the lane, seen the horses, we went up through past 32 to the sheep, we've come up here to this farm here where we've got the Massies, the pig farm, followed all the way up now to the cow farm, cow pasture, and then the shop. Like I say, this lane runs all the way up. There are way more fields up here, loads more to look at, but there are no more sell points or anything like that further up the map. And then you can come all the way back down the lane to the farm where we were with the sheep. But I like it. It's a nice map. Like I say, it has a nice feel, nicely laid out. There are certain parts of this map you can't buy, certain sections of this map you can't use around the back, but any of this stuff in here, kind of within this boundary of trees that you've kind of got around the edge here. But I do like the fact even when you've got that, you've got this field stuck out the back, and when you've got the forest here, you've got these grass fields tucked away within all the forestry as well. Some nice features, really nice features. Right, what I will do before I finish then is just let's check this out then, because like I say, someone said the sell thing's not working, so I can't remember who it was. If it was you, I do apologise. Yeah, I'm pressing X to sell and it's not letting me. So yeah, potentially I can repair, I can customise, but if I click on that to sell, yeah, it's not letting me sell the tractor, so that's an interesting one. So you might just have to do that from your main menu if you want to. The only downside with that is normally if you do that, you make more money if you sell back at the store than you do if you just sell it kind of online, so to speak. So potentially there might be an update that will come at some point that will fix that problem. I can see a floating header just over there. You can see, oh no, it's on pallets, that's right. That's just the draw distance. But there you go. That's This Is Island, or Welcome to This Is Island if you go for the full title, by Lancyboi. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.